Hi, my name is Jonathan Millar. Today I'm riding Santorini's son. He's an 8-year-old gelding owned by Brenda and Nicole Roach from Ontario. We're going to touch on a couple of things today. One being position, which I think is a really important part of riding at any level. And we're going to do that through a couple of different exercises. Mainly the exercise that I have behind me, which is good for a horse's balance and position, as well as a rider's balance and position. Let's get started. So again, as I'm trotting around here, I'm just nicely, thinking about the base of my position as the lower leg. My hand is just following the horse's mouth. We're just starting the warm up a little bit, so we're just letting him sort of get in gear today. I'm not asking too much of his mouth, just sort of, getting him loosened up and a little bit stretching into my hand and trying to get him just a little bit rounder as we go along. So we're just working away on nice rhythm at the trot. As I said, he has a very big stride length, so we're going to watch that, as we have rhythm in the gait, we don't lose control of the stride length. So that's very important, and also just trying to get him to, work in a frame that is comfortable for him, but yet still allows him to be able to do his job and lengthen and shorten his stride easily and seamlessly. And I think as you're working away here on the flat, you want to use a little bit of a combination with your position, sitting in the saddle, connecting a little bit, creating a little power through their body, and then also getting out of the tack a little bit and following with their body, following with the movement a little more, and allowing them to canter forward. So on the flat, you're doing both. You're setting the horses up for what you're going to need on course, and sometimes you have to follow along in a jump off, and sometimes you have to collect a little and shorten and ask a little more of the stride length. So a big thing is we're asking all the questions on the flat so that we have the answers for the test, which is the competition. So I'll just pop through the little exercise here. We have a couple of rails in the middle of the exercise to help sort of manage the stride length and the shape of the jump. Good, and so what we want there is just a nice one rhythm as we step through that. We want, from the horse's viewpoint, straightness, push. He shouldn't speed up, he shouldn't slow down, is what we're looking for. And then from the rider's viewpoint, we want to be deep into our lower leg. As I said, that's the base of our position, down through your heel, and then your position, you follow with your hand and you stay in the middle of the horse with your shoulders as all that's happening. And the nice thing about this exercise is we can do it right lead and left lead, which I think is really important. Some riders have everybody's a little right or left-handed, as horses are. So it's nice to be able to practice both leads, both directions, just so that you're strengthening and coordinating equally. And you can think like the rhythm of the canter is the rhythm of the jump. And if the rhythm of between the canter and the jump slows down, then their technique is going to slow down. And as their technique slows down, then their legs slow down, and that's where sometimes rails can happen. But anyways, long story short, what he does is he actually slows down and shortens his stride up or loses power. So what I want him to do, again, I have done other exercises like this, but not this one particularly, but what he needs to do is actually continue to push. Yeah. He slows down and doesn't continue to push. And so anyways, long story short, that's what I would be in an ideal world after, is him continuing to push as he does this exercise. There, very good. And as you're doing these exercises with horses, you'll figure out which lead is maybe their stronger lead or their weaker lead fairly quickly. And again, if you can identify that in training, you can come up with different ways to help improve that over time. It's not going to happen in one day, but this much more identifies your weak side and strong side. There, off the right lead, we just have to keep him pushing nice and straight, and he's, I would say his weaker side is the right side, but we'll work away on that as we go along. Good boy. And I think definitely in training, any of these exercises can be really helpful exercises to many types of horses and riders. It's a little more advanced exercise with the canter pull coming in, but I think in general, an overall viewpoint in training is try to improve what you have and don't overface. I think that's an important thing with these exercises. They can be very, very powerful tools if overfaced or done too aggressively. So what we want to do is try to improve our horses the best that they can be. As we go up with the exercise, what it's going to demand more of is just the horses sitting and coiling and rocking back on their hind ends. And that's so often what happens in the ring is, the end of the course when you're going for time allowed and things like that, and it's all happening quick. That's the one thing that horses have to be patient about at the end of the course, is really sitting, rocking back, and not letting their sort of feet get ahead of where their minds are. So this, as the jump goes up, it'll just ask a little more of that coiling and sitting and rocking back on their hind end. Okay. Good boy. Now we're going to raise the exercise up a little bit. He's doing it very well. And as I said, every time it goes up, it's just going to ask a little more of that coiling their body, rocking back on their hind end, and then straightness is such a big key in these exercises as well. As a horse is straight, as a rider's straight, as a horse is straight, they're going to push evenly off the ground, and that's what we want. There, good boy. Well, that was very good off the right lead. Now we'll try it back off the left lead. There, very good. Often in training the horses, what we'll do is we use a little exercise like that as the training and the education part of the day, and then what we'll do is do some coursework as the application. And that's a little bit like where that carries over is it's like in the schooling area where you're sort of warming up, educating, and then you go in the ring to apply all that. So you're doing, you know, it's a small step from, you know, the exercise to the course, and then it's another bigger step probably from the ring here and at home to the show ring, or the schooling ring to the show ring. So they're all little, in theory, they're little steps. You're educating, applying, educating, applying. And that's that's, you know, if we can train horses like that, you know, what we're after is trying to get the best out of, best performance out of our horses and riders.